Hello and welcome to Pro Football Weekly. I'm Adam Anschel and I'm joined by senior editor Mike Wilkening. We're taking a look back at Week 12 of the NFL season and a great Sunday of football. Mike, what would you say was what we learned from Week 12?
I think we learned, Adam, that the most important thing that stands out to me, the Bears are legitimate contenders in the NFC for a high seed. They're 8-3. It couldn't have been a bigger win for them today versus Philadelphia. It's a conference win. It's a confidence-building win. 8 wins at this point of the season in the NFC, very impressive. The offense took a big step forward. We know they can get the stops they need defensively, but to have Jay Cutler throw 4 touchdown passes, a big signature-type win, very impressive by Chicago.
Seems like every week we're looking to see who that NFC team is that's the one to beat. Now, what would you say is the biggest surprise that came out of Week 12?
I was stunned that the Colts couldn't come up with a bigger effort versus San Diego. And as it stands right now, Indianapolis, 6 wins. The wild card in the AFC, I think, is pretty much out for them at this point. It's AFC South or bust for Indianapolis. And they're certainly capable of taking care of business within the division, but all things considered, right now, with only 6 wins, only a game up on the rest of the division, kind of a tough spot for Indianapolis.
The Chargers keep moving forward. It looks like they will be a playoff team come the end of the season. Now, who would you say was the top player? There's a bunch to choose from here from Week 12.
Yeah, we've got no shortage. Dwayne Bowe in Kansas City, I think, really merits mention. 3 touchdowns. He's having a wonderful season. Arian Foster in Houston, I think, had just a great game, and certainly, I think merits consideration as well. But if I've got to pick one guy out of Week 12, it's Peyton Hillis of Cleveland. 194 total yards, 3 touchdowns. He scored 18 of Cleveland's 24 points. They won by 1 point. He's got to be the MVP of this particular Sunday in Week 12.
Yeah, always a good showing from the Browns when they can get a win, whether it's against the Panthers or anyone else. Now, what came out of this week do you think will be most important looking forward to Week 13?
Well, the thing I take away, Adam, is that every one of the top teams in divisional battles next week took care of business. You had the Patriots, you had the Jets taking care of business. You also had the Steelers and the Ravens. Both those teams locked up, in the big AFC East and AFC North battles that will occur next week. I think that's, going to be really nice to see how that sorts out. The other thing I take away is this: Atlanta, we're just mentioning them now, 9-2, again, kind of under the radar. They can be the first NFC team to get to 10 wins if they beat Tampa Bay next week. If they do that, that's a season sweep. The Buccaneers pretty much out of division, title consideration at that point. It could be a big step forward for the Falcons. They're a team that can start to really, pick up some ground and get some separation in this, conference race in terms of getting the #1 seed, and it's not too early to start talking about those type of things.
Yeah, Falcons flown under the radar for most of the season, although they still need to keep an eye on the Saints in the rearview mirror, not far behind. We'll check back with you next week for more on Week 13, but after Week 12, we finish things off by saying go to ProFootballWeekly.com for all the best NFL coverage.